Well, hello beautiful, welcome back to the tea room. It's time for tea with Tamara. Today I have somewhat of a first impressions review on this guy right here. This is the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. I wasn't initially going to talk about this palette on my channel because I feel like everybody had talked about it, but one of my beautiful subscribers, Melissa, hey girl, asked me to do a review on it. So I'm going to give you a first impressions review on it because I only just got the packet maybe about 2 weeks ago and I haven't really played with it that much. I played with it some, but not enough to give you an in-depth review. But don't worry, I have some opinions because I used the palette today for this look. And yeah, I want to share with you my thoughts on how I feel the palette does. Okay, so I don't know, I'm just calling it a first review. You can call it, is it worth the hype type thing. Call it what you want to, okay? I'm just gonna let you know what I think of the palette. I have some coffee in my San Diego mug from Starbucks, and it's peppermint mocha. Y'all already know I'm not really a fan of the peppermint mocha, okay? Don't come for me, peppermint mocha police, but I really just, no. I'm more of a gingerbread girl, but I'm out of my gingerbread. But anyway, that's not what you came here for. You came here to talk about this palette. Okay, let me let you get a look at the palette if you haven't already seen it. Love the packaging. It is awesome. I love the weight of it. I mean, the packaging, it's quality packaging. Like, this is, you want this out on your display. I love the little metal tag here. I guess it's a tag, yeah, on here. Just really nice palette, you guys, in terms of the packaging. You get a wonderful big mirror here. I still have the film on it so I wouldn't blind you guys. And then these are the colors in the palette. Okay, so you guys have seen this all over YouTube. I'm gonna swatch a few colors. I'm not gonna swatch the whole palette because this thing has been swatched to death. Now, I am gonna talk about some colors in here that give me a little bit of concern, okay? Let's take a look at the colors really quick. Okay, so this row and this row, they're pretty neutral. And then down here, you have some colors to play with, okay? And of course, you know, every palette should come with a black. Like, I don't care if it's a neutrals palette, if it's a colorful palette, you gotta have a black in that palette. So let's swatch that first. And you guys, these shadows are quite buttery. And so you will find that as you're using them, you're gonna get some kickback, but look at that. That is a serious black. Like, I'm telling you right now, you wanna take your time with this. This is not one that you wanna dig your brush right into and go to town with, or else you're gonna make a mess. And I would tell you right now, on the colorful colors, you need to err on the side of less is more. Okay, I'm not even kidding you. This palette it's pigmented, okay? So now I'm gonna swatch this color right here, and the black is called Blackout, and this color right here is called Punk. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a swatch. Now, this was one of the colors that concerned me because in the pan, it kind of looks like a burgundy color, right? And then this is what it looks like on my finger. Still kind of looks burgundy, but to me on the camera, I'm pulling a little bit more brown. But watch what happens when I swatch it on my skin. And this is one that it does not swatch well on the skin, but when you load this sucker up on your brush, you got to be careful with this one, okay? So on my skin, it looks kind of like a dark brown, and it kind of lost its, look at that. Does that look like the same color? Because on my finger, there's a little sheen to it, but on my skin, it looks a little ashy, like an ashy brown. Okay, is it a deal breaker for me? No, not necessarily, but you do need to be aware that if you are my skin tone or darker, this particular color here might not be true to color in the pan. What you can do is lay down an eyeshadow base. If you want it to be more of the true color that it is in the pan, then you might have to use a white eye base, like NYX's pencil in milk, the creamy pencil in milk, in order to get the true color of that. Yesterday I uploaded a video on a tutorial that I did, and I used that color Punk, and it totally did not translate in the look. I was okay with that, but just so you know, FYI, if you want the color that's in the pan, you're might gonna have to use that milk pencil, especially if you are my skin tone or darker, okay? Just so you know. Now, let's talk about this situation right here, okay? These three colors right here, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, skirt, okay? Skirt. Now, I am wearing Danger, which is the royal navy blue color, as well as 1987, which is the gold color. I am wearing that today in this look, but I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. These two colors gave me a very hard time. First of all, like I said, they're super duper pigmented, okay? So this is Danger on my finger, and this is Danger on my skin. And although it looks kind of subdued right here in this swatch, again, once you load it onto your brush and you place it on your eye, you are going to get a very pigmented application. Like, when I say be very, very careful with this color, because it can go bad really quick. You want to make sure that you take your time with this color. It is beautiful, and I did end up pulling off the look. This is not a typical look that I would wear, but if you are more adventurous with your eyeshadow and your makeup application, you're absolutely going to love this color. So I'm gonna tell you right now, in this palette, this row right here, you're either gonna freaking love it or you're gonna freaking hate it. Now, I am closer to the I freaking hate it side, because I am not great at applying color. I mean, I really had to go to work on this look, and I still don't even think that it's like there as how I would like it to be, but this was as good as it was going to get without me taking it all off and starting it all over again, okay? So let's go ahead and swatch 1987, and there's 1987 on my finger, and there it is on my hand swatched. Now, I'm gonna tell you, this one swatches better than it applies. When I went to put it onto this eye look, I felt like as soon as I started blending, it blended away. And so I had to keep reapplying and blending and reapplying and blending till I got it to a point where it looked decent. So this one might give you a little bit of a problem blending. This one you have to be very light-handed with, because it's just gonna go all over the place, and when you start to blend that blue color Danger, you really have to be careful, because like it goes everywhere, okay? So I'm telling you right now, just be careful. Now let's go ahead and swatch Harajuku. I have not had a chance to play with this pink color, but based on the swatch right there, I don't know if you can see that. I feel like this one is a little bit on the chalky and gonna give you some fallout side. Now, keep in mind, with eyeshadow palettes, sometimes they don't swatch well on the hand, but they apply well on the eye, and vice versa. It looks good on the hand, but it doesn't look good on the eyes, okay? Hope that made sense and that I did not confuse you, okay? So yeah, that Harajuku one, I don't see myself using this one too much at all. But but the rest of the colors in the palette I totally can get down with. This color right here, which is kind of like a gray eyeshadow, and this is called Serious. I love this color. I actually have this as a lower line liner today, and that worked great for that purpose. I'll go ahead and swatch that one for you too. And this is just kind of like a gray color, but you guys, to me, I feel like it has some green undertones in there. At least on my skin, I feel like there's like almost like that clay green undertone to this color. But this one worked like a charm to smudge out my lower lash line. I absolutely love that. The other colors that I played around with are this color Zone right here, as well as Stark and Anaheim. I used Anaheim today as my transition shade, although you can't see it, because what happened was I laid Anaheim down first, and then I went in with the Danger on my mobile lid, and then as I was kind of blending in my crease a little bit, the Danger started to just go everywhere. So I had to bring that up into my brow bone area, and it kind of covered up the Anaheim. So you can't really see it, but it still did its job in terms of a transition color, in that it created that nice little smokiness that you see out here on the outer rim of my brow bone. That's where Anaheim kind of toned down that blue color. So what I'm trying to say, the take home for this palette is that this is not a palette for beginners. I don't care what anybody says, this is just my opinion. I have been playing in makeup for a very, very long time. I even went to school to do makeup, okay? So I'm not quite a professional anymore, but I did get training in makeup, and I'm gonna tell you right now, this palette is for the experienced makeup lover. This I would not recommend for a beginner. I would not recommend this to my daughter who is 16 and just starting to play with makeup. No, this is not beginner friendly. This is, I would say, intermediate and advanced makeup lovers and wearers. Totally not for beginners. The colors, they look subdued in the pan, especially these neutral colors here. These neutral colors, they're not so bad. You could probably get away with playing around with, I would say, from this color that way. But from here down and over, don't do it. It ain't for you, boo. It's not for you. If you're a beginner, this is not for you, honey. Maybe when you get a little bit more experience, okay? This color Pop, I haven't really played with either. And this one also kind of looks like it's gonna give me some fallout because it seems to be a little chunky and glittery. And see, I mean, I think I dipped my finger in there 2 or 3 times, and you see what that gave me. So again, I'm saying to err on the side of caution with this palette. That's just my first impression of it. That last bottom row, that's going to be your problem child, okay? Like, and I'm an experienced person with makeup, and it gave me problems. Like, I was really verklempt. I was really frustrated doing this look because I just felt like it looked a hot mess during the application process, okay? So I'm not saying that it's a boo. I still love the palette. I'm just warning you. If you have this palette and if you're thinking about getting this palette, I'm just warning you right now, straight out the gate. This is not one that you can do quick on the fly. Like, if you're gonna use this palette and you're in a rush, I would tell you to stick with the neutral colors. If you have a little bit more time to play and finagle and figure out things, then go ahead, jump into those pops of colors at the bottom row, but just know that they're super, super pigmented, some of them, and some of them are gonna give you some fallout and be a little chunky and give you a little problems, okay? I hope that this first impression has helped you figure out what you're going to do. I do believe that this is limited edition. I did see a post on Sephora's site, I think, or Instagram, that they were in store still, so you might still can get your hands on it. If you're just a collector of makeup and you just like pretty things in your collection and that's how you roll, then okay, do you. But I would not recommend this for beginners. This is for intermediate and above in terms of your experience with makeup. The palette retails for $58. I got mine with my $25 coupon from Sephora for the VIB deal there, and so I end up paying like $42 for my palette. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Melissa, I hope this helped you figure out what to do with your palette. I hope it helped you, and yeah, you know what I'm gonna tell you: stay sweet, stay beautiful, and remember, there's always time for tea. I love you for watching, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye bye.